When you think of a comfort game, what's the first game that comes to mind? Harvest Moon? Stardew Valley? Story Seasons? Actually, honestly, I could probably just list every farming simulator out there at this point. There's just so many of them. Comfort games can be really subjective. While some people might relax in one game, others might find it stressful for other reasons. Stardew Valley to me is a great game. I love it, but it's not comforting or relaxing in the slightest for me. Yes, it's great. It's fun, but I constantly feel like I'm wasting my day if I don't use my energy or daylight hours efficiently. Also, if Mario Party is your comfort game, you need to be labeled as a danger to society. But that's besides the point. I'm getting off track. When I look for comfort games, I generally pick games that have like a cozy feel, but also, you know, some sense of community. Whatever game you think of when you think of a cozy game, get it out of your head. Scratch it out. It's gone because you're wrong. There's only one perfect cozy game. And that's Animal Crossing. Unless, of course, you were already thinking of Animal Crossing, then good job, you got it right. That's what we're talking about today. But not just any of the Animal Crossing games, I specifically want to focus on what is probably the most forgotten of the games in the series, Animal Crossing City Folk. Otherwise known as Animal Crossing Let's Go to the City if you live across the pond. But that is so much longer of a title, goddamn. And yes, I know I've already made a video about City Folk in the past. You can go check out that somewhere. It's not that good, but you know, it's been a bit, and I thought it would be fun to revisit it and actually take a deeper look into what made this game probably the most forgotten. Now, I should go on to say City Folk is technically not the most forgotten. Amiibo Festival is hated so much that it feels like it can't be forgotten at this point, but like Happy Home Designer, who still talks about this game? I mean, I didn't even play this one, so but I swear no one's talking about it. So yeah, you could argue that my video title here is a bit misleading or clickbaity. Hey, but at least I didn't use red arrows to point to something super obvious in the thumbnail. This time. No, what I mean is when I say Animal Crossing is the most forgotten Animal Crossing game, I just mean out of the mainline games. Because, like, I feel like no one really talks about City Folk as much as the others. I mean, I just ran a poll on my channel on everyone's favorite Animal Crossing title, and it came in last. Not by much, but last is last.
Yeah, it's bad.
But like any good study, you need a good sample size, and my little channel poll might not tell the whole story. So let's just check Metacritic and see. Oh, yeah, still last out of all the mainline Animal Crossing games. In fact, the only one that couldn't score over an 80. Still beat Amiibo Festival though, baby. Well, what about sales? Surely it's still sold. Whoa, nope.
Oh, no.
What the hell happened? How did an Animal Crossing game on the Wii, a console that everyone owned, sell so poorly? Well, let's look a bit deeper at Animal Crossing City Folk and see what went wrong or what happened at all. I have no idea what happened. How did this happen? All right, losers, picture this. The year is 2008. Maybe you're like 15 years old like me, or maybe you're still a fetus, not even able to do simple math. It doesn't matter. E3 2008 was here, and this trailer starts playing. A new Animal Crossing game in the city? Bill's in the game? And in the city? On the Wii? Oh, the town is so back. Oh, the city is so back for the first time.
When I last talked to you from an E3 stage, I closed by saying that we at Nintendo were pleased, but not close to being satisfied. With Animal Crossing on its way to Wii by the end of this year, complete with the Wii Speak option, of course we're pleased. And in a larger sense, we're even more pleased with our marketplace momentum.
So yeah, that's basically how Nintendo's E3 presentation at 2008 went. To sum up the rest of it, it was kind of like this.
You really like that throttle, don't you, Reggie? All right, let me get started here.
Call me the Reginator.
Yeah, I guess they were really excited for Wii Music that year. Now, I know this is just a nitpick, but what the hell is this title? Not the City Folk part, but the font they used. Why does it look like this was just a sample template and not what they use in the final design? Which they did use in the final design, by the way. This was not like a prototype. This is what it looks like. All the others have so much personality. I don't know. Who the hell cares? This does not really matter. But at this point in my life, I'd already played the other two entries in the series so far, the one on the GameCube and Wild World. I was a pretty diehard Animal Crossing fan. Now, I loved Wild World the way I wish my parents loved me, which is to say that this was my baby. But I didn't actually like playing it on handheld console. Call me an old man, or blind as shit, but I always preferred a game on my TV. Something about it just brings me more peace. I don't know. Let me enjoy things and hate other things. But that's not the only problem I had with Wild World. You see, they cut some content from Wild World that had been on the previous game, like holidays and shit. Maybe it was because of the DS hardware limitations, but I wanted them back. I didn't feel like I got the full package with Wild World. That's not to say Wild World didn't add anything new, but I was hoping the next Animal Crossing installment would bring the whole package. So when I saw this trailer, oh my brothers, I was absolutely fucking ready to roll. I had my Wii, I had my TV, I had no list of real responsibilities. I even still had a will to live. I needed this game. I wanted this game. Animal Crossing was back on the living room TV, baby. Well, not the living room in my case. I was actually excommunicated to the basement so my mom could watch Law & Order upstairs on the living room TV. So the E3 trailer ends and we're given a date. November 16th, 2008. It's June at this time and the hype train was chugging through the next few months until release day. Until finally, it was here. The new Animal Crossing game is finally here. Gee, I hope everyone was just as excited to play it as I was. Let's just check on the sales. Oh, that's right. I spoiled this part and showed you already how poorly it sold. What the fuck, Past Danny? Well, now that I've ranted enough about me wetting the bed for this game's release, I think it's time we look a bit deeper at City Folk and see what happened. Now, I'm no developer. I don't know how to develop games or make games enjoyable. Hell, if it was possible to burn cereal, I'd absolutely be doing that. I'm an idiot. But looking back at old interviews with the City Folk team, their goal seemed to be to appeal to users who already loved Animal Crossing, but also to target their friends. Basically have it so current Animal Crossing fans would use word of mouth to get the game out. That was their selling strategy. They wanted people to talk about this game. Which, yeah, duh, that's usually how it works. You see people talking about a game they love, of course they might be curious of this game and try it themselves. It's free marketing. But I actually think it's kind of cute and on brand for a game like Animal Crossing to use word of mouth to, spread their game, their main marketing strategy. Animal Crossing is about building a community. It's sweet, I like it. I mean, none of this actually panned out as expected because no one bought it, but it had the desired effect on me. I pitched this game to everyone. Siblings, yep, they had to get it from me. Cousins, sure, but only the good ones. Friends, yeah, no, I held them at gunpoint. My grandma, no, not her. She was like born in the 1930s or fucking something. Everyone I knew had a Wii, why not pick it up? But what did the developers of Nintendo actually do to make this installment of Animal Crossing its own game? How did this game warrant being created? Just like any Animal Crossing game thus far, you start off answering some questions about yourself by this blue cat who won't mind their business. Some people may love Rover, but I fucking detest him. In Animal Crossing GameCube, he made my face ugly just because I told him to fuck off on the train, and yeah, I've never forgotten that. Anyway, he asks you for your name, where you're going, your credit score, whatever. You hop off the bus, and now you're in this new town that you named. There's already some animal villagers here, and for the first time ever, you can kinda pick where you want to put your house in the town. You get your home in the spot you want, and you go into debt with Tom Nook. It's pretty standard Animal Crossing stuff at this point. You explore your town a bit, make some new friends, hell, maybe even fish to get a head start on your mortgage. And suddenly you realize, this game's just like Wild World. Exactly like Wild World. Well, not exactly. I mean, for one, it's on the Wii and has lost that, like, vomit-looking DS graphics look. But hell, even the hourly music is exactly the same from Wild World. They just ported it over. This isn't a new game. So what the hell makes this game different than the last game? Well, first, we gotta look at the city. You know, the thing the entire game is fucking named after. Up until this point in every Animal Crossing game, you've kind of been locked in your town. You got a couple of shops, you got a museum, maybe there's even a police station. Why was there a police station? Animal Crossing police station implies Animal Crossing crime. But even with all that in my town, I'd still often find my stupid little child brain staring at the night sky in-game and wondering, what else is out there? Is there a bigger world outside of my hick town and hick animal neighbors? What is my purpose? How come in the first game boys had non-removable horns in their head? Well, now in City Folk, most of those questions can be answered. Finally, there was this big area to explore that let you actually leave your town. There's a bigger world out there. A whole ass city! The idea behind the city when they were developing it was that the city would be the only one in the whole world. This way, every town in the game was somehow now connected, bringing everyone closer together. You were all sharing the same living and breathing world. Except my grandma, who again, I did not invite to play with me. Sorry, grandma. The city connected all of our games together. Now, you couldn't go to the city with your friends, bummer, but you could still know your pals were exploring the same space as you. All right, I keep mentioning the city without actually going into what that even is or what there is to do there. So it's time to take a look at the biggest feature of the game, the thing the game's named after, this city. What warranted a trip to the city? The city. It'll take a bright, small-time village boy and turn you into something new, something you're not. I remember when I first came here, took a short bus ride, not knowing what I was getting myself into. I was naive to think the city wouldn't change me. I look at myself in the reflection of Gracie Grace's mirror and ask myself, who is this sad and broken man? No, wait, no. There's actually not that much to do in the city. Let's take a look at everything we got here. First up, Crazy Reds. You remember from the first game, you remember him from the second game. Well, now he's got a shady-ass physical permanent location. Come on down by this dark fucking alley late at night and lose a kidney. But also, visit Crazy Reds. Want to buy a piece of art for your museum? Fake! Sometimes. Everyone here is family, cuz. Members only must knock on his door at least once, then wait for a villager to invite you to the club. No refunds, no cops allowed, open from 10 a.m. to 1 a.m. daily. Next up, we have the Marquee. Marquee? I don't know. The home of Dr. Shrunk. And for no reason at all, sometimes Frillard. This is where you can watch a show and learn a new emote. After that, just down the street, there's the Happy Room Academy, a place where your interior design choices are judged, mocked, and then shown off. Sometimes your friends' rooms would actually be displayed here, which was another fun little feature of WeConnect 24. Center stage, we got the big boy itself, the goddamn Chanel of Animal Crossing. Chanel without all the dark past stuff. A high-end designer store that sells luxurious clothes and furniture for insanely high prices. Labelle here will also wipe down anything your grimy little peasant hands touch. Also, much like real life, rich people have no fucking clue about style. I mean, who thinks this looks good? In the corner by Gracie Grace, you have the auction house, where, like, I guess you can auction off furniture and stuff from your friends, and they can bid on it in their city and stuff. I don't know. WeConnect 24. I don't know. I never fucking went here. I didn't know what this building was for. Besides that, there's this rundown building where the city's homeless problem is on display. I always felt so bad for kicks. Like, do you have a home, kid? Like, I have a mansion that I will never pay off that you can come stay at. Seriously, where do you live? And most importantly, over here in the corner, we had Shampoodle. This is probably where most players spent their time in the city and most of the reason for their trips here. I mean, it was for me. This is where you could get your hairstyle changed and recolored. It was also your only defense against bedhead, which is what you'd get if you didn't open the game for like a month. Oh, and some days though, I found extremely rare for me personally, this dude will show up and sell you balloons. I literally only saw this guy like once and then never again. I don't know when he shows up. I don't know why he's here. How does he stay in business? Over on the east end of the city, you could find Katrina, who would tell your fortune and also assault you with a bucket for some reason. I don't know why I paid for that. The last spot in the city isn't necessarily a feature, more of a secret little Easter egg. There's this corner that almost always is closed off by traffic cones, but on random nights after 8 p.m., sometimes it'll light up and you can actually go through to access the Rossetti Surveillance Center, where you can see how Rossetti spends all of his time when you're not committing the horrible felony of turning off your game without saving, God forbid. So yeah, that's about it. This is the whole city. There may not be a lot to do, but you can't deny the feeling of getting out of your town for 10 minutes. You know, it's actually kind of nice. And the atmosphere of the city at night is just, mwah, it's chef kiss. However, as you probably could have guessed, and you realize very quickly, there is almost no real reason to keep coming back here every day. Like I said, getting your hair done was kind of like the only reason to frequent the city, but even then, I barely changed my beautiful blonde hair. The items in Gracie Grace only change like once a season, and I ignored most of the other features here in the city. It feels like the city was more of a thing to check out maybe once in a while, which is actually how it was intended to feel, for better or for worse. Kind of like how modern games have a seasonal section in their eShop. It doesn't get updated every day, just once in a while. What the fuck? Hisashi Nogami told Satoru Iwata in an interview, the emotes that Dr. Shrunk is able to teach will vary each week, just as the lineup at Gracie's shop will change every 3 months. It would get tiring for the player to keep visiting the city every time something changes, so the pace at which things change is quicker in the town than in the city. That and the fact the bus ride is an outrageous 20-second ride. I think the city was just supposed to be a place where you'd visit here and there, whenever you felt like there might be something new to check out. Crazy that they named the whole game after this then. They didn't just call the Animal Crossing on the GameCube Animal Crossing, but you're like broke and in debt to a raccoon demon, aka wholesome capitalism simulator. It would be way too big, just way too big. I don't know, take it how you will. Was intending for the city to be visited sparingly a good idea that made the game better, or did it feel like a lack of content? You decide, I don't know. Okay, so the city is a neat novelty feature, but surely there's other things, other features in this game that warrants it being made at all, right? Something that also differentiates it more from Wild World. After an in-depth 4-second Google search, I learned that Wild World had a total of 150 villagers in this game. Well, City Folk bumps those numbers up all the way to 210 total villagers. That's 60 more talking furry friends. I mean, it's not as impressive when you look to the future and see New Leaf added 123 new villagers for a total of 333 villagers, but hey, who's keeping track? City Folk also brought back many holidays and events that were removed from Wild World. City Folk got them all back from the first game and even added some new ones like Festival or Easter, which also introduced this biblically accurate hellspawn. There are also some other unique features that City Folk added, like you could actually buy a windmill or a fountain for your town, and if you threw an axe into that fountain, you were met with Serena, some fountain spirit goddess chihuahua thing, which by the way, I thought was a mouse this whole time. I'm just realizing now it's a chihuahua. Well, the chihuahua mouse thing was actually how you'd get the silver and gold axes in the game. You could swing your axe in the fountain once a day and try your luck conversing with her. If your luck was good that day, she might just give you the prize. And finally, the last feature I want to talk about for City Folk is grass. Yep, grass. The stuff that cows eat. Grass. Just like in every Animal Crossing game, there's grass on the floor of your town. But in this game, it's actually a feature. In real life, if you were to walk down a path every single day through a field of grass, eventually the grass under your feet will die, and you create, like the path you've been walking on. Well, unfortunately, the same goes in City Folk. Okay, let's say you walk every day from your house to the Able Sisters. Over time, it's gonna form a dirt path, which at first you might think is really cool. Cute even. Until you play this game how I assume most people do, and run all over your town in every direction. Instead of having custom dirt paths all over your town, you're left with this wasteland with only patches of grass existing in the places in your town you visit the least. This happened to my town. And the only way to fix it is to open the game up. Don't walk anywhere, close the game, and remember to save, because this is when Resetti was still a thing. Fast forward to the next day and repeat. It would take weeks or months to fully let your grass regrow. I ended up doing this back in the day, and I fast forwarded so much my favorite villager, Bill, moved away when I was just trying to get grass back on the ground, man. My friend and I even had a funeral for him and everything. I was devastated. Grass took everything from me. So yeah, City Folk is like the one game where you're actually punished for going outside and touching grass. And I am not alone in hating the grass feature. If you go look up any review of Animal Crossing City Folk, people will bring this up. People fucking couldn't stand this. So that's why in New Leaf, they got rid of the feature altogether. But even with all that, this game still does kind of feel like a port of Wild World slapped onto the Wii. I don't doubt the developers poured love into this game, and it's evident all over. But when you compare the jump in this series that New Leaf brought, this is arguably pretty thin. Wait, no, hang on, wait. I have not talked about one last little feature or tidbit for City Folk that, really took this game to the next level. If I'm gonna talk about City Folk, I need to mention the Wii Speak. What the hell is this thing? I hate it. The Wii Speak was developed as some kind of add-on tech piece for the Wii. Plug it into your Wii and you'd presumably slap it right cozy on top of your sensor bar. Or at least that's what they showed everyone doing in the marketing. The Wii Speak was Nintendo's answer to online gaming voice chat and headsets, I guess. Oh yeah, for once Nintendo was ahead of the curve here. They knew online gaming was the shit, the way to go. Microsoft Connect? Wii Speak did it first. Kind of. Now, I don't think the Wii Speak was invented solely for City Folk, and that's not what I'm saying, but it was definitely paired with the game. I mean, there was even a City Folk bundle with it included. These things were pushed together. So what did this stupid piece of a chrome rectum do? Well, it was a microphone that let you talk in Animal Crossing with your friends online. But what made it special? Because Nintendo, they can't just do fucking normal things, by the way. Well, I don't know. It just picked up your voice and everyone else's voice in the room. and any other noise in the room as well. No, I'm serious. This thing was designed to pick up everyone's voice in the room as basically a room microphone. Like everyone. Hell, if your walls are paper thin, I bet it picked up other rooms too. How is this a good idea? Why would anyone want this? Why would you do this? The idea was to connect virtually 2 living rooms, I guess, so everyone could be part of the conversation. But like, when would that actually realistically happen? I know Zoom meetings are a thing and, you know, whatever, but when would you sit down with your whole family and play Animal Crossing while talking to another whole family playing Animal Crossing? It's not gonna happen. So not only did this thing offer absolutely no privacy, it was unbearable to use. That's the we speak. All right, okay, so we've talked a lot about this game. We talked a lot about City Folk, its features, what makes it hypothetically different than the other stuff. So why didn't this game sell well? Why is it the most forgotten? Why is it the most disliked? I don't know. I'm no expert on any of this, but I reckon part of it was they only announced it a few months before it was going to be released. It's not a ton of time to build hype. And as we covered, it also didn't really feel all too different from Wild World. And I think people saw that early on. Also, their commercial was definitely interesting, for sure, to say the least.
Gosh, it's great here, isn't it?
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Oh, hey, did I tell you I went looking for shells today?
Really? Any luck?
Mm-hmm. Oh, and I caught up with my neighbors.
Aw, that's nice.
Want to check out fireworks?
Yeah, you kidding? Let's go.
See you there.
Animal Crossing City Folk. Use We Speak to connect with friends and explore a whole new world. Only for Wii. Rated E for everyone.
Yeah, I don't know if Nintendo's marketing team has ever heard how real people talk, but they don't talk like this. I mean, they somehow made the Wii Speak look fun and easy to use, so that's a plus. But I don't think 2 lesbian Gwyneth Paltrows talking about seashells really made anyone excited for this game. The marketing team did not really try for this game. After going back and reviewing all of City Folk and its features, was City Folk a good game? The answer is definitely going to be subjective depending on who you ask, and I mean, that goes for basically any game or any opinion, of course. For me, though, I like this game. I might even be in love with this game. I would go to second base with City Folk. It was my 3rd Animal Crossing game ever, so I was pretty used to the series. That said, I still feel so incredibly nostalgic for it. Is this game a Wild World port with DLC? Honestly, yeah, I can't even deny that. But even without a ton of new content from Wild World, I still played this game to death. I never got bored with it. Hell, I played this game probably more than any other Animal Crossing. And this is the one people call just a port. I somehow never stopped playing it. And plus, it's the first one I ever got to play with friends online. There were some annoying features for sure, like the grass, but you could just find ways to manage it. And yes, the Wii Speak sucked major dick and balls, but you could just unplug it and your experience would be fine. Hell, me and my friends would actually just use Xbox 360 party chat while playing City Folk Online so we could still use proper voice chat. Putting me aside, do people like this game? Probably not as much as the others, but I would say City Folk's reputation is still pretty decent. It didn't sell nearly as well as the other titles, and yeah, it's the lowest rated one, yeah. But it still holds such a special place in my heart and likely millions of others. But not too many people, because again, no one bought it. City Folk released at a really strange time in my life. I had just recently moved to a new city and had my whole life uprooted, and all of my old friends left behind. I moved to a new city where I didn't know anyone, I didn't have any friends yet, and I was a little cave dweller, a little troglodyte. But City Folk gave me that Animal Crossing calm, cozy, and community feel more than any other game in the series. Is it my favorite game in the series? No, God no, not well. New Leaf exists and the one on the GameCube, but City Folk holds the most memories for me. It's always gonna be the one that has my heart. I agree with every criticism pretty much for this game, but it still won't dampen my opinion of it. I know it's been like 15 years, happy birthday, City Folk, but if you ever get the chance to play it at all, I'd say pick it up. It's definitely worth your time, it's fun. Go to the city, let's go to the city. Animal Crossing, let's go to the city. City Folk might be the most forgotten Animal Crossing game, but it's always the one that I'm gonna remember the most. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I don't normally do videos like this, so I'm sure the editing was pretty rough and, you know, like some of the effects were rough, but I hope you still found some enjoyment in this video. I hope to make, you know, different types of videos, maybe something like this again. I just wanted to say a big thank you to my patrons over on Patreon. You guys let me be able to do different types of videos, you know, whatever I want to do. It's actually very, very nice, so I really appreciate all of your guys' support. Thank you so much. I want to give a big special thank you to my Horatios over on Patreon. We have Akira, Kentguard, Mike, Danielle, Danny and the Bobcats, great name, Eric the P, Galea, Helen, Hatoro Crafts, Levi Isbay, Lexi, Lindsay, Machalate, Max, Maya Moose, Megan, Regan, Stephanie Lynn, Teresa, Twilight Wolfo, and William. Thank you guys for the support. A huge special thank you to my champions over on Patreon. We have Allison Nicole, Anna Banana, Apolly Me, Captain Clarice, Caroline, FPE, Janet, Julianne, Kaba, Mandy Sexton, Matt Still Plays Games, Mega Megan, Midnight Madness, Mike Allen, and Rebecca Parrish. Thank you so much for you guys' huge support. And oh my god, thank you to my Hylian royalty over on Patreon, Far Away Days, Isis, Joe P in 1984, and Midna. You guys are the best. I love you so much. And at the very end, we have the Triforce from Patreon. We have Brandon Starwin. That is such a cool last name. Oh my god. And we have Velvet Shade. Also such a cool last name. Thank you guys so much for your guys' support. It means so much to me. See you later. Thanks for watching. Later, nerds.